Hello! I've neglected my second channel for far too long. It is time to come back and just talk to you guys about whatever I feel like talking about. So for those of you who happen to stumble upon this video who have no idea who I am, my name is Maria, this is my second channel, and my main channel is Masha Knots, on which I make friendship bracelet content and just general crafty stuff. And this is my second channel, on which I talk about whatever I feel like. So apart from making YouTube videos, I also live stream occasionally, and I get a lot of questions about what it's like to be a YouTuber. It seems like there's a lot of interest in that, so I thought that I would make a dedicated video answering some of your guys' top questions. So over on my Instagram, I asked you guys what questions you have for a YouTuber, because I am a full-time YouTuber over on my main channel, and I thought I would answer some of them for you guys. So I've written down the questions. They're not really organized in any particular fashion, but I'll leave the timestamps down in the description so you can skip around to a question that you want to listen to. Or you can just watch the entire video if you feel like it. So let's just jump into the deep end straight away. The most asked question was about money. How much money do I make, and how do I make my money? Let's start with the second one. How do I make my money? There seems to be a lot of misinformation going around about how YouTubers make their money because the questions you guys asked. You seem to think that I earn money based on the number of subscribers I have, or the number of likes a video gets, or even comments, or something like that. Absolutely not. Those things probably tangentially relate to how much money a YouTuber is making in the sense that it helps gain visibility, but the way that you earn money is directly from ad views, not just regular views, ad views specifically. So if someone is watching your videos but they're using an ad blocker, for example, you're not getting any money. Whenever you watch a YouTube video, you are most likely watching ads. Unless you have YouTube Premium, for which we get a cut, or are using an ad blocker, for which we don't, you are watching ads. And there's different types of ads. There can be ads at the beginning of the video, which you can skip or not skip. There are ads in the middle of the video. There are ads that can show up like a banner on top of the video. There's ads on your screen if you're watching on a computer, like to the right. There can be ads in cards if you click on a card. And as a YouTuber, I get to decide what ads I put on my videos, and the more ads I put, the more I get paid, because the more you guys look at them. There is definitely a balance there, which is kind of difficult to find if I'm being honest. Obviously, in terms of making money, you want to shove as many ads as you can within a video, and realistically, you can probably put them like every minute or so if you actually wanted to do that. It's not guaranteed that they're going to show up every minute, but you can place them there, and if they do, they do. I typically place ads roughly around every 5 minutes. So if I'm doing like a 15-minute video, I'll put an ad on the 5-minute mark and on the 10-minute mark, or on the 5 and like 12-minute mark, so I'll give a bigger gap between the first and second, because typically people only stick around for the beginning of the video. They don't really stick around for the end that much. So you want to get the first ad closer to the beginning of the video, and then the second ad can be somewhere later, because if someone watched through the first 5 minutes of the video, they're more likely to finish that video, so you can sort of give them a bit of an ad break and only shove that ad at the very end. At least that's my logic. I don't know if that's 100% correct, but there's definitely a balance there between shoving in as many ads as you possibly can and making it so that people aren't bombarded with advertisements all the time. I don't know if I do it well. You can let me know in the comments if you watch my videos on my main channel, but I try to have a reasonable balance there. So ad revenue is typically how YouTubers make money, which is why when a video gets demonetized, which means that ads cannot run on that video, it makes YouTubers unhappy because we can't make money off of that video that we spent time and potentially money creating. Some other ways that YouTubers make money is, for example, Patreon or memberships on their YouTube channels, which I don't have, but I do have a Patreon, which is basically a platform where people can literally just send you money. It's a platform where they can support your content, and it can be a one-time thing, it can be a sort of monthly subscription type of thing. A lot of YouTubers offer rewards for that, which I know I do. There's different rewards. Some of my patrons I give a shout out, some of my patrons I send packages with string or potentially bracelets every other month. So depending on how much a person contributes to my channel, I give certain rewards for that. The link to my Patreon is in the description, by the way, if you want to join. Memberships are essentially the same thing, it's just within YouTube itself. I'm yet to try that, but some YouTubers do, and that's another way that we can get money. Another source of income is sponsorships, which personally I don't have that much experience with. I've done a couple, but I feel like other YouTubers do them all the time, and I'm just not there yet. Merchandise. People sell t-shirts and other stuff with their logos or whatever. I personally also haven't done that yet, but it is a way that people earn money on YouTube. And last but not least, live streams. During live streams, if it's on Twitch, then people can just send donations or subscribe to you on Twitch specifically. But since we're talking about YouTube, on YouTube live streams, you can also send super chats. By donating a certain amount of money, it then shows up on the live stream itself, and your message gets highlighted so the person streaming can see it clearly. So there's different ways that you as a viewer can contribute to the YouTuber that you like, and there's different ways that a YouTuber can earn money. And there's many, many more like big celebrity YouTubers like make their own makeup palettes or whatever, but I'm talking about the average YouTuber per se. So how much money is it that we make? Without going into specifics, because that's weird, it really varies. Before I became a YouTuber, I heard YouTubers talk about how it varies. I didn't realize realize by how much. Like, I have a sort of general average that I earn, which is not a huge amount, by the way, but like, it comes and goes in waves. So over the summer, for example, the summer months tend to be the most successful for me financially. I tend to earn more over the summer, and I could earn like 1.5 or even 2 times as much as my average. Whereas in the winter, I can earn like half or even a quarter. January, being right now, is probably the worst month for me, where I don't even make enough to pay rent, if I'm being totally honest. The average that I'm talking about for myself personally basically covers rent, bills, and leaves enough for me to just have some spending money, I guess. Summer months I earn over that, and then I end up sort of putting that extra money aside for the winter months, where I earn so little that I literally cannot pay rent off of the income that I get. Just being real with you. So this is obviously different. It's a case-by-case scenario. Every single YouTuber earns a different amount, but if you're asking about me, that is what it is like for me. So next question. Would you ever do this as a full-time job? I am. I finished university this summer, and I was also a waitress before then, but I quit my job in October, and ever since October I've been a YouTuber full-time, which I didn't expect to ever be, to be honest. But with COVID and the difficulty to find a proper job, I thought, you know, might as well wing it. Try it, see what it's like. So far it's not been super kind to me financially, but we will see. Maybe this is something that could be sustainable, and maybe this is something that I could do in the future. I have no idea what the future holds. If a video doesn't perform well, does it bring you down? I'll be lying if I said it didn't. This is definitely something I try to be more conscious of now. I think the first year that I was doing YouTube, I really fell into those mental traps where if a video did well, I felt amazing, where if a video did poorly, I felt terrible. And this year I've been trying to be way more mindful of that, and to just be kinder to myself, and to realize that my self-worth shouldn't depend on how well a video is doing, because it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And especially, like, as I said, with money as well, same thing with views. It goes up and down, it comes and goes in waves. You can't have your self-worth tied to what position of the wave you're in, because then when you're at a low point, where maybe you're not getting as many views, you feel terrible. Then at your high point, you feel great. But then when you're at that high point for too long, you're waiting for it to come crashing down, and even at the high point, you start feeling terrible, because you're like anticipating that wave to drop. So it's really not something that you should be tying your self-worth to, and I'm trying to be more mindful of that and trying to be more healthy with my relationship to YouTube. So it's still something that I struggle with for sure, but I'm trying not to care about it as much. I've stopped checking views. I check them for maybe the first 2 hours once a video is up, because when you do that, you can compare your video to the last 9 videos performed as like a 1 to 10 sort of scale. But once those first few hours are done, where I get like a general idea of what's going on, I stop checking. I never check the likes to dislikes. I still check the comments because I feel like it's important to interact with the community, and I still reply and I like comments and stuff, but I don't look at the numbers because I don't need to. Do you struggle with motivation? Does being self-employed make it easier or harder? I struggle with motivation in general. I think it's just a mental health type of thing. So being self-employed has helped me in a lot of ways, because I can then afford to take those mental health days when I'm not feeling particularly up to it, or when I wake up feeling like I have completely zero energy to do anything. I can afford to just take those days to self-care and then go to sleep and hope the next day is better, I guess. So that's definitely a benefit, but it is definitely also harder in the sense that you don't really know when your workday is over. Like when you have a 9 to 5, or, you know, I didn't have a 9 to 5, but I worked at a restaurant in shifts. You know that once your shift is over and you come home, you're done, you're home, like you can chill and relax. I don't know when my workday is over, because I kind of feel like I'm constantly on. I kind of always have to be thinking about what's next. What am I doing next? What am I posting on YouTube? What am I posting on Instagram? When is my next stream? So it can be difficult in that sense. It's a really weird job to have. I feel personally lucky that I sort of went into it a little bit later than a lot of people did. So I had those people to look up to. And even before I became a YouTuber, I watched videos like this or podcasts like this from people who were YouTubers at the time, expressing what it was like for them. And I was sort of able to learn from their mistakes in a way, I guess. So I'm grateful to have had them, but nonetheless, it is still very difficult to manage, I guess, because you have to plan everything out yourself. But I'm definitely grateful for it, and I enjoy it. Do you feel forced to film even when you don't feel like it? I kind of touched on this already with the previous question, but as I said, when I have days when I'm feeling particularly down, or I wake up and I realize that I have no energy to do anything, which is part of my mental health issues, I take those days off. I don't force myself to film if I'm not feeling up to it. and if I'm not feeling motivated to do that. Not because I lack self-discipline, because I think the audience, you guys, are very perceptive, and if I'm not feeling my best, and if I don't want to be here, and if I don't want to be filming in the moment, you guys can really tell. And if you guys can tell, and if neither of us are enjoying this, what's the point of doing it? At least that's my understanding of it. I still try to do other things, like I can do behind the scenes stuff, like answering emails or planning stuff out or creating schedules, editing or whatever. Like I can do other stuff, but if I'm not feeling up to filming on that particular day, I'm not gonna do it, because then the video is just gonna turn out horrible if I'm not feeling into it. At least that's always been my way of working. What is something that people overlook when it comes to being a YouTuber? Kind of touched on this just now as well. Emails. Emails. You get a lot of emails as a YouTuber. Majority of them are scams and spam emails of just companies really looking to either underpay you or scam you to do something. But sometimes there are legitimate offers there that you have to comb through and figure out. Like, I get business offers left, right, and center. There are a couple that I'm actually interested in, and you have to like, there's a lot of emails. It's just all I'm saying. Thumbnails as well, I think, take up more time than people think. First of all, taking pictures for thumbnails is probably the cringiest thing you will do as a YouTuber. It is mind-blowingly cringy. The only thing cringier than that is probably when people turn your videos on while you're in the room. Hate that. Video descriptions. I think personally, I don't know about other YouTubers' content, but personally for me, video descriptions take a long time because I always take the time to reference whatever pattern I am using or showcasing. Especially in my wrap-up videos where I show like all the bracelets that I made throughout the month, those take forever to create descriptions for because I have to track down every single pattern and then link it in the description. But also just like the logistics of everything. Like on every video that I post, I have to put an end screen. I have to put cards in the video. If I ever referenced a video that I filmed before, I want to also put a card so that it like pops out when I'm talking about that video. Not only cards, but then I also want to reference those videos in the description so people can just like click on the link in the description and go to that video that I just talked about. Playlists, channel art, logos. Like there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we work on that people probably don't really think about that much. But also with streaming, for example, like I recently purchased a new mic, which you're probably listening to me from unless I mess up the recording. Setting up the mic was a challenge because I'd never experienced that before. Like I had to figure out from scratch how to work with a microphone. Setting up, purchasing lights and then figuring out how to work with them. It's sort of like a one-time thing really, like you figure out how to use it and then you know how to use it, but it's still something that you have to do, and if you've never done it before, it can be challenging, which it was for me, but I figured it out. It's fine, I hope it is. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that is behind the scenes that people don't think about. Captions. I have a great team of volunteers. Shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. They create captions for my videos. I used to do them on my own, which was a huge challenge, and I literally was not able to do them for every video because it takes up a huge amount of time on top of everything else that I'm doing. But now that I have volunteers, they're amazing. They make captions for me. But despite the fact that I get captions created for me, literally, there's still some stuff that I have to do. Like I have to comb through all of my videos, figure out which videos don't have captions, take the auto-generated captions, export them into a Google Doc. At least that's how I do it. Make sure that Google Doc is shareable, input that correctly into the Discord server. Then when the captions are created, I have to take the captions that were created, put them into the video, edit the title, edit the description to make sure to credit everyone, keep track of all my Google Docs, fix any mistakes that somebody missed, answer any questions that people had. I'm not complaining by any means. I'm very happy with what I do. Like, don't interpret this as me complaining about my work. I'm just trying to illustrate that there's work that people probably don't think about. A lot of people just think about YouTubers as just like literally sitting down in front of a camera, filming, editing, posting, that's it. No, there's like a lot of really tiny things you probably don't think about that go into it. But I am very happy about it. I'm by no means complaining, just illustrating a point. Do you ever run out of ideas? Kind of, but also no. Like I go through points where I'm highly motivated on my YouTube channel and I have so many ideas that I literally just don't have the time to film everything. But then I also go through points in life where I'm not motivated to do anything. And I just like lay in bed and I just like physically can't get up because I'm completely unmotivated for life, I guess. I find that when I am in moments of high motivation, if I make a list of videos and plans that I actually want to do, then when I'm feeling down, I can look back at that and pick out the ones that I feel like doing at the time. But also, even if I do ever run out of ideas, which I don't because I just have a giant list on my phone, which I add things to faster than I remove things from once I film them. I can always ask you guys. I have a Discord server where you guys post ideas in the video suggestions section. Link in the description to the server. I have Instagram. Also, you guys just type comments all the time about videos that you want to see. So I've never felt like I'm running out of ideas per se. Just sometimes I struggle with motivation, but that is a mental health problem more than it is a YouTube thing. What do you say you do to people you've never met before? Well, in 2020 that wasn't really an issue because I don't really meet new people anymore. I just stay at home all the time. But when we were looking for flats, for example, when we were filling out applications for new flats, like one of the questions was, what is your occupation? And I always put online content creator. And yeah, that's just it. If someone asks, I explain further, but that is the title that I personally choose. I don't like the title influencer because I'm not trying to influence anyone to do anything. I'm just sharing my art with people. But yeah, I just put online content creator. How do you deal with hate comments? I surprisingly don't get that many hate comments. I guess I don't know if you're gonna be surprised by that because I make friendship bracelet videos, but I genuinely thought I would get more than I do, which I'm grateful for. So thank you for not leaving me hate comments, I guess. I still do get them. People attack my appearance, people attack my skills and saying that I'm completely incompetent and I shouldn't be making tutorials. People say that my tutorials don't make any sense, which can be interpreted as criticism or just like genuine frustration, but like there's a way in which you express criticism and frustration, and there's a way where people just like are being mean. Like it's kind of easy to tell when someone is being just horrible or if someone is asking for help. Also, sometimes I get like really random hate comments, like on my Instagram stories. Like I posted a picture of my cat the other day and someone messaged me and said that my cat looks ugly, which is what? I don't know. Dealing with hate comments. Definitely don't engage with them in any capacity. That is not something that you should be doing. Trolls troll because they want attention, and by not giving them attention, you're depriving them of the thing that they seek. So there is literally no point in engaging with them. But in terms of not letting them get to you in general, someone was talking about, like, imagine if you're a tall person and someone is making fun of you for being short. Like, you're not gonna take them seriously, right? Because you know that you're not a short person. You are a tall person, yet someone is making fun of you for being short. Like, what is their problem? It's the same kind of thing. Like, if someone is making fun of you for something, and if you don't personally believe that to be true, then you're just gonna look at them and think like, what? Why are you making fun of me for that? Like, that's not true. You know what I mean? Like, it's a matter of how you perceive them. And that can be difficult to achieve. Like, not caring can be difficult to achieve. But I like to view people who hate comment as people that I should sympathize towards, because they're probably going through something in their personal lives where they feel the need to lash out against someone else to sort of help themselves with whatever hurt that they're feeling. So I just ignore them and then also sympathize for them rather than trying to internalize whatever negativity is thrown at me. So yeah, there's my tip, I guess. And the last question is, do you watch any other YouTubers? And yes, I do. I watch plenty of YouTubers. I find it more difficult now to watch YouTube than I did before. I always watched a lot of YouTube. Like, I grew up with YouTube. It's always been a part of my life. But now that I am a YouTuber, I still watch it. I really do, and I enjoy the content, but I find it so difficult sometimes because I end up comparing myself to whoever I'm watching. The videos that they make, I compare and I see like, oh, they do this so much better than I do. Or even just the fact that they're posting a lot. Like, they post 5 times a week and then also stream like 3 times a week or something. And I just look at that and I'm like, oh my god, like, how do you do that? I cannot do that. But I'm trying to be kinder to myself. Like, I know that I struggle with my mental health a lot, and if I focus on getting better, maybe eventually I will be able to produce more content and be more productive, I guess. I try to be kinder to myself, so I'm like working on not internalizing it in that sense. But yeah, nobody asked that. People asked me if I watched it. I do watch it. I watch YouTube, despite the fact that I find it a little bit hard right now to do that because I end up overthinking things. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your questions. I hope I answered a question that you were wondering about. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments. I might do a part 2 of this, or I might just answer your comment right there and then. Let me know what other videos you want to see on my second channel. I'm probably gonna make another video about like what it's like to be a YouTuber, and that video is probably gonna be titled like my advice for new YouTubers or someone who's thinking about starting YouTube. But let me know what other videos you want me to make. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to my patrons and especially my top supporters whose names are gonna appear on screen. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you also want to become a patron, there is a link in the description where you can sign up and get exclusive perks for your donations. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!